Hey, we're winding down the year and I thought I'd share with you guys one last look at the garden for this year. Yep, this is the December garden and what I have growing in it. And we'll talk about triumphs and tragedies in the garden. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome back to Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. I got my cup of coffee to warm my hands because, like I said in the bumper, it is December. December means it's cold. And it's colder if you live way up in the mountains of the Pacific Northwest at the Cascade Ranges. Yeah, cold. Look at my apple tree. It's losing their leaves. There's a few leaves that are just barely hanging on. And I've got to go through and trim this year in the timely manner to get it all trimmed. I noticed that apple trees have little spikes on them, so you got to be careful when you're trimming these suckers. Yeah, I dropped a branch on the ground. I stepped on it. It went through my boot. Yeah, my boot jabbed me in the foot. Boy, my foot was sore for a long time. And then this is my wonderful little greenhouse. It really serves its purpose in seasons. Yeah, right now, I only have a few things growing in it. I tried growing some cucumbers, but they were a fail. They died, and it's probably my fault. I didn't keep the heat on in there, and I didn't keep them watered. And there's a good excuse why. We got really short-staffed at work because of COVID. I work in the hospital, for those of you who don't know, and COVID's on the rise, and we're getting short-staffed. Yes, staff is getting sick, and we are just trying our best to do what we can to keep things staffed and going and keep people healthy and get them better, get them home with their families. So with that said, yeah, I put in a lot of hours at work, a lot. So with me doing my time there, I neglected the here. So that's one of the reasons why we had a little bit of a tragedy in the greenhouse. It's not so bad. I was just trying to do a review on this this overhead light, this grow light that from Spider Farmer that these people gave me. Unfortunately, I didn't do too good of a job on the second part of it. I'm just so sorry. And my bad. But we do have some Swiss chard growing in here. I bought some pretty hanging basket plants to hang out on the porch when it's not so freezing. So my wife and my mother-in-law have something pretty to look at when they look out the window. Right now we have the Christmas decorations up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave them in here, keep them watered. And they seem to be thriving really well. So that inspires me to probably get more into flowers in the greenhouse too, because there's a lot of things I want to do with bringing some color back to the homestead and also creating more variety of foods for my honeybees. Yeah, the garden, I spent this year focusing a lot of attention on the garden, getting the fencing finished, getting the raised beds done. I think next year I'm going to go ahead and add more raised beds. I found that my corn here does much better in a raised bed environment. So I'm going to go ahead and just do raised beds throughout because for those of you who have been following me, you keep hearing me whine about how shallow my soil is. Yeah, it's only about this deep. I've got a really hard pan rock. The fence posts are barely held up. I had to dig wide, big holes and pour a lot of cement in there to create a big foot to keep them standing up to hold the fence up. And then that's why we have the cross beam support posts up there, so it keep the fence tight, because there's I guess this used to be a lake bed, and then the hard pan rock, it just kind of solidified and created a kind of a hard surface, just real shallow under this soil. So that's why I went with raised beds. And of course I added all these trellises to grow my peas on. I do have peas growing. Of course, this is the first time ever that I've tried growing things in the winter months. I've never done this before. This is an experiment for me. And of course, like I said, with me working so many hours lately, I've neglected the garden a bit because I didn't get the summer and fall harvest stuff cleaned up and into the compost pile. It just so happens I have 2 more days of work and then I'm on vacation. Well, actually it's a staycation because our governor has us locked down and we can't go anywhere because of COVID. It's just as well because I have so much work up here on the homestead and I don't have to wear a mask out here. I'm too far out in the wilderness, and if I have to wear a mask within 6 feet of somebody up here in my homestead, well, they're trespassing. They should not be within 6 feet of me on my property, unless they're invited, of course. So this is the garden. This is it. We've got cabbage, cauliflower, kale. I have Swiss chard over here. I have peas growing, some rainbow Swiss chard already. I have lemon balm growing, and then up here I've got some more Swiss chard, some radishes, and some cabbage up here in the corner. So I have some things growing that can grow in the winter months, but now I think I have to put tents over them. I got to explore that. Like I said, this is all new to me. I've never done this before. It's an experiment, and it looks like it's going as long as I put some effort into it. I did amend the soil though with rabbit turds, cleaning out the rabbit tree. So having the rabbits is a good thing. Also, we've reduced the population of the rabbit population. We're down to, let's see, I have 3 females and 3 males now. Yes, that's what I have. Another plan for next year on the garden is going ahead, and like I mentioned already, I'm going to add some more raised beds, bring in some more soil, and get my raspberries under control, and bring in gravel and just go ahead and finish my gravel paths in the garden. So I don't have to deal with weeds so much. I don't have to deal with all this stuff. It's just been experiment after experiment, failure after failure. A couple of triumphs, you know, and I got this gravel path in. I didn't have an access from the front of my property back to my well because of the pond and the streams and stuff. So I was able to cut in this driveway since I got the gift of the tractor this year, and then bring in several loads of gravel and lay it down. So now I've got a path going all the way through my garden to the back to the barn and also up to the well. It was important to get some access to the well in case, God forbid, I need a service truck in there to help me with restoring some components in the well water. Yeah. Well, that's it on this little show on the December garden. You guys see what a few of my triumphs and some of my failures. And I'm trying, I'm learning, I am doing what they call homesteading and having a blast doing it and learning from others. It's really cool. It's really cool being able to do this. I'm your host, Jerry Hansen. This is Pine Meadows Hobby Farm. We're a small 5-acre homestead tucked up in the mountains of the Pacific Northwest. We're geographically located west-southwest of Crater Lake National Park. That's why it's so cold up here. Stay tuned, click that bell icon, and then that alerts you to new videos as I upload them. Oh, please subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up and like the show. That helps the algorithm. Also leave a comment, compliment, and always remember, be safe. And please be kind. We'll see you guys in the next show. All right? Bye-bye.